been kind of a wild trip so far. 2 days ago, I woke up in New York City. Yesterday, I woke up in Red Rock Canyon Campground, which is about 45 minutes west of Oklahoma City. And then today I woke up in Colorado Springs. I want to talk about how I got there. I also want to talk about some of the props, some of the things that I realized about this road trip. First, I was in Arkansas. I made it to the horse farm, and then I had a side quest to Vegas, and then I had a side quest back to Virginia for a speaking engagement, and then I got an invite to New York. I have a friend who's a fashion designer, and she had her first big week for Fashion Week. So that was over, but I got to go see the display, the exhibit, the gallery, all the stuff, meet all the dealers, meet all the people that are in that trade. I'd never had any experience with this before. I'm clearly not the most fashionable guy, but it was a cool experience. So I went up and I really enjoyed it. I think the thing I admire so much about this designer is her whole thing is about sustainability. So everything she has is sourced from literally like trash. She uses trash bags, she uses things that are thrown away, she uses things that would otherwise be discarded or recycled, and she turns it into art, she turns it into fashion. Some of her pieces are beautiful and sell for insanely large amounts of money. Some are done on catwalks and runways, and it's just cool to see somebody who has the passion and they can do it in such an aesthetically pleasing way. I think she's incredibly talented. I was grateful for the opportunity to visit. Once that was over, I flew to Oklahoma City, where my car was from the last time I was there. Then from Oklahoma City, I drove to this campground, and I had a buddy who'd been staying there, and he said, look, you gotta come check it out. I ended up talking to the owner, and my plan was just, yeah, I'll just stay in my car, I'll just plug it in one of the spots to charge, I'll see the canyon, I'll see the beautiful spaces. Just got back from New York City. I don't have my mics hooked up or anything, and I apologize for the poor audio, but I thought I was gonna be staying in my car. I found this really cool campground. Everybody told me I had to experience it. You have the red rocks, you have everything. And then I got here and I started talking to them, and they had these glamping setups. But the other thing is they had these plugs. So everybody gave me crap about traveling in an EV because they said it'll never work. It's gonna take too long. It's not gonna anything. So this is a portable charger. I actually also have the home charger that I can wire directly into a box. But this is already set up for 110 and 220. Right now I have it set up for 220, and the other one you can just plug in whenever you want to. I'm gonna go to this box right here. Literally just pull this out, slide this in, that way or that way. There we go. Okay. See, we have power. Power. Open this up. Now we are charging. And by the time I get done in the morning, it'll be charged. I won't have to worry about it. I'm actually gonna go set it to 100%, which I don't normally do. Boop. But he said, hey, we've got a glamping cabin. I think they have 4 of them. I was in the big one, they have 3 smaller ones. We've got a glamping RV, and then we have general RV sites, and I brought a tent back from Virginia, so I have a tent if I need to do that. So I went and stayed in the glamping cabin, and it was mind-blowing. It was amazing. Gotta check it out. Premium glamping with a hot tub. Wait a minute, you're telling me I can come out here, I can hike, I can see all the beautiful things, and have a hot tub at the end of the day? And after a long day of hiking and exploring, you can come climb a rock wall in the pool, take slides for the kids. Yeah, all with this beautiful view behind you. I mean, who could have ever imagined a place like this? And I got up the next morning, and he had told me I wanted to go on some hikes, so I found the ridgeline. So I was able to go up to the top of this ridgeline, this giant bowl of red rock, because it used to be a lake or a river that ran through there, and just sit up and watch the sunrise. And sitting on this red rock, I just remember like tearing up, just getting emotional, because it's this feeling of freedom that I don't know how to describe. The glamping tent was nice, but to wake up and see this, a 5-minute walk from the bottom of the canyon, you really, really can't beat just how beautiful and breathtaking this is. Clouds in the sky, and you still have the moon. Hi, moon. How are you? For all those years in prison, I used to watch out the window. I used to look and see the sunrise or the sunset. I used to see and just be like, one day I'll be out there, but it never seemed real. It never actually seemed like I was getting out. And if you remember, I got up 10 years before my sentence was supposed to be up. I got 10 years early from what I thought I was gonna do, and I was so worried, how am I gonna survive? When I'm gonna be able to travel? Am I gonna be able to do anything? And things have worked out better than I ever could have imagined. And this trip has been so important to me because it's been believing in myself, trusting myself for the first time, going off and being comfortable with sleeping in my car if I have to, traveling and meeting people and knowing that I'll find a way to make it okay. And not only has it been okay, I haven't had to sleep a single night in my car because everywhere I go, someone invites me to stay. And some of the trip I designed that way. Like, so when I went to the horse farm in Arkansas, I was planning on sleeping in my car, but I knew there were people there, so if I needed to, and Don said, look, just stay at my place. Why would you do anything else? Now I'm out in Colorado. I've got friends who used to be stationed in Virginia that I knew there, and they invited invited me out. So I'm out hanging out with them and enjoying this beautiful place. So part of it was intentional because sleeping in my car isn't a problem. I did it right before I left just to test it out and see if I'd be okay. But it's much preferable to be like in a bed and have Wi-Fi and cold, hot showers and cold water to drink and, all the basic things. Laura's an amazing cook, so I had a really good dinner last night and a really good breakfast. So it's good to be here. It's good to be able to see people. But after that campground, I was like, let me see what Colorado's about. And it was a 10-hour drive. I had to drive from Oklahoma into Texas, back into Oklahoma, across to Colorado. Was it Laredo or Laramie? It was one of the places in Colorado. They had the Colorado Welcome Center, and it's right next to where the Chargers are. So I walked in, I had a conversation, and the ladies that worked there were just incredible. They just wanted to tell me all about the state, all about the city, all about where I should go. I left with a stack of pamphlets that I don't even know how to describe, and just had a really good time. And then coming up here, I'm sitting in the mountains right now. I went for a run this morning, and I could see the sunrise over the horizon. I could turn around behind me and see the mountains, and I can see where NORAD is. I can see where the place on the side of the mountain is, where Central Command is. It's just mind-boggling to think of how much is going on. And because it's a military town, I'm in Colorado Springs, there's some advantages, and I'm gonna show you those in a second. But having done this and having realized just how good people are, and everywhere I go, I get DMs every day saying, hey, if you need a place to stay, if you need a place to charge your car, if you want a warm meal, just let me know, send me a message. And I didn't know that it would be like that. I knew I would have places to stay like this where I have friends. I didn't know the world would be so welcoming and so open, and it's just an amazing thing. Even though I'm not sleeping in my car, I am eating in my car because I have to figure out how way to do it on a budget, right? Because this is not the cheapest thing. Although I want to say, so people were telling me you need to just get a van or get a gas car. Yesterday I drove 424 miles and it cost me $31. That was my total charging cost for doing that. Now, maybe if you get 40 miles to the gallon and you get 10 gallons of gas and it's $3.10, cool, but I don't know anybody who gets 40 miles to the gallon, so it ends up being a really good deal. I do eat in the car, so I have to figure out breakfast, what I usually do, and I didn't want to bring this out here because they're just bulky. I have protein powder, I have creatine that I'm starting to do again. I got off my cycle last time. So I get a thing of milk, and if I'm gonna be out for longer, I'll get a bigger thing, but for now I just stop at a gas station, convenience store, I get a small thing of milk, I mix up my protein shake, I eat that, or I drink that. That's the first thing I do in the day. I've got my weight vest in there, so I go for a run, or I do some body weight stuff with the weight vest. I've got both a 12 pound and a 60 pound. So if I want to do squats or jumps or things like that, I'll use a 60 pound. If I want to do push-ups or pull-ups, I'll use a 12 pound. That way I get to push my body. I get to get the benefits of a weight workout without having to have a bunch of bulky weights. But after my protein shake, I might need something to snack on. So first thing I usually grab is this. Craisins. And this is a giant bag that I bought from Costco because I love Costco, although it doesn't really make sense to buy Costco style stuff when you're staying in your car. Everything you own is in your car. Yeah, it's a giant thing of craisins. They're good. I just love snacking on them. So I'll just sit there, I'll have them in the passenger seat and I'll eat them. I did the same thing with broccoli. I went and bought a bunch of organic broccoli from a farmer's market, just sat there and ate broccoli all day. But it just gives me something to snack on that's relatively healthy, that doesn't, isn't bad, isn't gonna spike my blood sugar too much, or at least I don't think so, because this does actually have a lot of sugar. So maybe this isn't a good idea, but I enjoy it anyways. Then if I'm stopping for lunch, what I'll generally do is either just get one of these or some version of ramen, some just kind of simple thing. I actually like the ones that have meat in them. I'm not sure how healthy or normal or the packaging or whatever. This just has bone broth, but it's pretty good. I'll just stop at a gas station that has hot water. I'll ask them, and I've never had them say no. I'll just fill this up, make my ramen. I might take like a protein bar. I might have some beef jerky too, just something for a little more protein, but that's my lunch. Or I'll do one of these, just a big thing of Campbell's soup or Campbell's whatever. Sometimes I heat them up. Again, gas stations have been really grateful. They always just say, yeah, go ahead. I guess they assume if I'm asking to heat something up in their microwave, I'm probably not doing too well, or they're just looking out. People have just been friendly. Otherwise, I might do this for dinner, or I let myself, a couple times a week, I'll stop and get a piece of pizza, or I'll stop and get a sandwich. I'm really trying to stay on a budget, so I'm trying to figure out the way to do that. But the advantage of being in a military town, because like I said, that Colorado Springs has an army base and a Space Force base and NORAD and everything you can think of, got this, real legitimate MRE. And so I found a place where I can get a bunch of these if I want. And this one's good until, it says till 2028, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good for 20 years after that. But I'm thinking about getting a big pack of these, so that way I just have something, I'm gonna grab it and I'm done. That way, it's got the heating thing in there, it'll be warm. I don't have to worry about it. I'm not eating cold soup if I don't feel like it. So I have everything that I need to eat in the car. I've got the bed all set up. I actually need to wash the pillowcases because I keep moving stuff in and out until I really get it situated where I want. The pillows keep falling out and getting dirty and dusty, so I need to wash those. But I'm actually thinking about while I'm here, because I'll probably stay here for a couple days or a week. They actually invited me to some fancy dinner next week that I would really like to go to. I think I might take a day and just go up to the mountains and sleep in my car there because I can. And right now it's in the garage charging just off a 110 charge. And yeah, that takes forever, but I'm not going anywhere. If I do, I'm gonna pop down to the city, grab some stuff and come back up. We're gonna go up for a hike, or we're gonna take one of their cars or their bike. I might take a day and just go sleep on the side of a mountain and wake up and look up and see the stars. Because that's what I love about here. That's what I loved about Oklahoma. When I look up, I see the stars. There is no light pollution. There is no kind of separate whatever. It just feels like it's in nature. Like I said, this morning I got up and I walked. The mountains are right behind me. I went for a run. I found this little path and these rocks to step up on. I watched the sunrise over the entire city of Colorado Springs over in the distance. It's just beautiful. I'm also just looking to connect with people because I get the opportunity to come out here and I want to highlight people's stories. People who've been formerly incarcerated, people who've faced some kind of great struggle and are in their second act. They're taking advantage of their second chance, whether that was a medical issue, whether that was incarceration, whether that was, being the victim or survivor of a crime, whatever it is. I want to highlight people who are, making the best of their second chance. I also want to meet people who are doing cool stuff. I'm obviously very interested in criminal legal reform. We got a bunch of meetings up in Denver and Boulder where I want to talk to people about, what kind of change we can make, what kind of policy needs to be done, what kind of awareness needs to be talked about, because there are cases that just don't make it in the news. So part of this traveling is being able to knock on doors and make connections. I met this massively wealthy art dealer, this gallery owner when I was in New York. Got his number, we had a conversation, I might go meet him in Miami. And again, that's somebody who cares. I mean, he gives a lot of money every year to a cause that he cares about. And being able to connect with people who have the money to make a change or make an impact is huge, because you can have the best ideas in the world, but if you don't have the resources, you're fighting against a Goliath or whatever. Once you have that sling, once you have that tool, once you have people who can help amplify your voice or actually get things done or actually put services in place, a lot more can be accomplished. I'm really enjoying this trip. It's only been 19 days since I took off, and I've been to Virginia, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Virginia again, New York, Oklahoma, Texas. I've been all these places. I'm actually gonna scratch my map off because I've got the whole trip that I'm doing, but I've been able to go there. I've been able to meet all these amazing people, see all these amazing things, eat amazing food, even if it's just, again, organic food from the farmer's market. I'm just loving it. I cannot imagine having a better adventure, and there have been a number of times where just looking up the stars or watching the sunrise, I've gotten incredibly emotional because, again, this is the most free that I've ever felt. When I was a kid, I always wanted to leave, but I was afraid to. I didn't feel like I could, or I didn't feel like I would make it. And I feel like that was one of the lessons that I internalized, is this idea that I can't make it alone, that I need somebody's help, or I need something. And that's the thing, I am getting help along the way, but it was this idea that I had to be stuck at home. I had to be tied to home, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So that's why I'm out on the road, and I'm finding people that are helping me along the way. I'm finding people I can help along the way, making connections, having meals together, having opportunities, having conversations, and it's just a truly blessed thing. And so I'm grateful, and I think I'm going to wake up every day grateful that I'm on the road.